Welcome back to the Belgian Formula FFG Grand Prix. During the break we were able to see this happen. Pablo Deal down the inside of Tapio Rinho, and he moves on through past his teammate, and at the same time, just further down the road, exactly the same thing, James McNamara just sneaks by his teammate Manolis Sigalakis. It's the first time McNamara has gone back ahead of his Greek teammate. In the last couple of races they have finished quite close to each other. As a result, other than that, nothing much more to report. Obviously that is quite important though. Pablo Deal chasing down Joel Rautavar at 6.4 seconds at the moment. We're only halfway through the race. You know, I'm pretty sure Deal was a bit further than that. He's at towards like 8 seconds behind, so now he's got himself some clear air. He's past his teammate, he's got the opportunity to chase down Rautavara. I think he can do it. That Falcon is damn fast. McNamara now, well, you know, he's 7 seconds behind Rinho. What can he do as a result? Sigalakis seems to be a bit dead in the water right now. That heavier fueled car just doesn't seem to be working for him. Time will tell if it works for him next stint. If he has enough tyre life towards the end of this one, he might find himself coming back a little bit, coming back into contention, but it's going to be a tricky one for him. That is no doubt about that whatsoever. Rautavara leads Deal, Rinho, McNamara, Sigalakis, Utsa Korns, Keranen, Goddard, Arno, Noah, Kadera, Brugman, Jednak, Berner, Lasky, Mishra, and then a bit further back to Reed. Those are the 18 cars currently going at the moment. Would I say those are the positions? Yeah, but there's a couple of different strategies, I'm pretty sure. Jednak was a one-stopper, so you can sort of... his position isn't quite 100% correct. He will be looking at moving forward. Get an idea soon. Rautavara definitely is getting caught up by Deal just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. However, he has got an extra lap of fuel on board Rautavara, so a bit less time stopped in the pits up on the jacks. $118,288. 117,998. So definitely Pablo Deal there, catching up, and he's leaving Rinho behind. Got 1.2 seconds out in that middle sector, as is McNamara doing something similar. He's definitely catching up a lot, and Sigalakis falling back into the clutches of Utsa. Vaughan's not too far behind, but he's going to have a long final stint to finish this race, and you'd imagine that's probably the best. If he can hold on to 7th, that's probably a good effort for him. Here is Jednak with the heavy fuel load, 23 litres on board, or 23 laps, sorry. At a Burner, still holding Lasky behind. Been a good race so far for Donald Brugman. You can see Daniel Harvey's stricken DTK still in the gravel over there. Here's the other DTK. Pablo Deal going to be called into the pits at the end of this lap. It's cutting down the gap to Rautavara. We could actually see them in the same shot just for a moment there. It's been closing in steadily on Rautavara, so obviously Falcon are thinking this could be the time. Pull in the lead driver at the moment, pull in Deal, get the fresh tyres on, and just start doing some laps. Because Rautavara will have to respond. He will have to respond eventually, that's for sure. So then Radivara across the line, and he will be responding at the end of the lap, so deal in. Rinyaho going so low. Fuel is going to have basically nothing left in it when he gets in there. Bit extra they'll have to fill up. So McNamara and Sigalakis, they're looking at just continuing their run on this set of tyres. Going to make them last. Pablo Deal comes out. 7-second pit stop, we'll remember that. 22 laps on board. He's good to the end of the race. Comes out in 7th. He's a bit behind Karanen, but it's not going to be a worry for a little bit. He's not in a battle, so it's more or less clean air. Corns now, he's popped back out in 11th. 7.1 seconds there for the Australian, so not too much of a problem. Cadero, Brugman back a little bit further. Lasky still trying to get something done there. Reed's quickly catching up to the back of this group. Could be a neat little battle there for 15th. Extra little bit of cash goes with that. Not necessarily for the teams, but for the drivers. We're out of iron now. So very important pit stop. Rinyaho going to come in as well. Now, he's quite a bit further behind Radivara. 12 seconds. I think it's only going to take about 7 for Radivara, but there we go. So Rinyaho's in. How quickly is he going to get into the actual lane? And just gets out Radivara, and a 6.7 seconds on the pit stop, so fairly quick there from Apex, and he gets back out. Ahead of Karanen, who's 4.2 seconds ahead of Deal. There's definitely a couple of seconds in between the two. So that's looks like a good move, the overcut there from Apex and Radivara. We'll have a look up here. 2.3. So from around 5 seconds, it's out to about 6.6 once again between Radivara and Deal. Could be a clincher. Rinyaho's popped back out now, and he's quite a bit behind, 6.8 seconds behind Pablo Deal. Could be in a bit of strife there from the 2KF1 cars. He's a long way further behind, and if he starts battling with Goddard and or Vimalana, that could be lights out there for Rinyaho. He's got to definitely be careful, because Goddard, you know, faster car? No. Faster strategy? Well, at this moment in time, yes. You know, 5 laps of fuel versus 20 laps of fuel. Do the math. It's not that hard. Now then, so Lasky snuck past Stefan Berner there. That's important there for the Brit. He needed to get by, because he is going to get overcut there by Berner. It seems the overcut is working very well today for a lot of people. McNamara is the leader of this race, and he's leading actually from Sigalakis as Ben Utz has come into the pit lane now. Radivara in 3rd, just 6.5 seconds ahead of Sigalakis. So you can see how much of a masterclass it's been from Radivara so far today. Seen in the past couple of races, strategy has been a very important factor in who wins the race. We've seen some great strategy in the past couple of races. Teams taking heavier fuel loads and whatnot at just the right times. We saw Rinyaho in Britain and Last time out in Germany we did see 1 stops versus 2 stops, and the risk definitely paid off for Rinho there once more. But definitely in Britain that was a very important aspect as to why he won the race. Similar situation might be happening here with Route of R, but time will tell because it's not quite the same strategies. Going heavy at the end, as opposed to Sigalakis, for instance, who's going light at the end. He's gone very heavy in the middle. Would Sigalakis have been challenging for this race? It's hard to say, but I mean, he's not too far ahead of deal, Sigalakis, nor McNamara might go close. Sigalakis would be looking at hopefully getting out ahead of Rinho. If he doesn't do that, if he can't do that, his race is more or less over. So still waiting on cars to pit. We're waiting on Noack, Anna, Goddard, Keranen, Sigalakis and McNamara. Keranen and McNamara, in fact, probably going to be coming in the same lap. Here's Reed. Having a look around the outside of Blanchimont. Oh, he's got to pit this lap as well. Must be frustrating for him. Berner defending from Mishra. Husky's already jumped up the field behind Jednak. It's going to hurt him a little bit. He's not probably going to struggle to get past that car. There you go, Reed into the lane now. Wouldn't be surprised if you find Reed leapfrogging these two. The undercut doesn't seem to be an overall viable strategy today, but I mean, when you got car speed like DTK do, that's always like just pitting. Well, pitting whenever the hell you want is just like viable strategy. Anything's viable strategy for them. Here's Goddard. He's looking at pitting this lap. Been chasing down Rinho, but he just hasn't had enough. Slowly falling behind the Falcon. So the McNamara are going to come in at the end of this lap. How much has he got? He's got somewhere around 9.6 seconds back to the old Route of R. It's probably the best he's going to get. Pablo Deal is actually losing time there to Route of R, so it's looking very good there for the Apex driver to pick up his and the team's first win of the season here at Spa. Cadera yet to pit. Noack pulls in there. Bit of a delay there to Goddard perhaps. That could hurt him. He was in a battle v Malana. Lasky in the pits and he's out fine. Mishra's in that. Mishra was more or less racing Reed. Come around the corner and Mishra will be outgunned. Reed well and truly passed. So Reed's past Mishra and you'll imagine that he'll get past Berner. Similar effect. Here's McNamara now into the lane. He was leading the race. That'll now be taken over by Sigalakis. Now we'll see what can we expect from the 2KF1 crew, as in comes McNamara, in comes Keranen as well, I believe. Yep, indeed. 6.2 seconds though, there's not really all that much to be gained there. And in fact, there you go. Rinneho's going to actually go by McNamara, who in fact probably has more fuel on board than Rinneho does. So 2KF1, whatever they've been trying to do there has not worked whatsoever. So we can now see directly Pablo Deal 7 seconds behind Yoel Ratavara. Tefio Rinneho even further behind that is actually Vimalana. Very cheeky move there. He's put himself ahead of James McNamara, which means that the Australian now has to go past Singaporean just to even start to catch up to Rinneho. Very little space to be able to overtake here, not until a bit further down the track. So Corns and Keranen here, they're both fueled to the end. So they are racing for position. Corns, of course, drove for Razor last season. Keranen stepped out of managing. Oh, he's going for the late dive there, back down the inside. Couldn't get it done, but he's still right on the back of Corns. Fresher tyres on the Razor. He's looking to the outside. Will he dive down the inside yet again? No, in fact, he'll go into the back of the Razor, in back of the Raven West. Actually got a bit better of a drive out of the corner as a result. Went a bit wider. Going to try down at Eau Rouge. Has a look around the outside. Can't find it. Through the Rodillon. Stays fairly close. Now down the Camel Straight. There we go, Keranen pulling out up alongside now. And through on Corns goes Keranen. So strong move there from the Australian. Gets the job done. Cadera yet to pit there, currently holding 10th however. Burner yet to pit as well. It's Brugman. Lasky, there's Reed. Sigalakis now, he'll be pitting at the end of the lap. Getting a little bit lighter than some of the others around him. We approach now the final quarter of this race. Ratavara pulling away from Deal with ease. McNamara having been freed there from being stuck behind Vimalana. Moves it comfortably up the road there from Keranen. Still has Corns just behind. Promises to be a close battle all the way to the end of the race, you'd imagine.
Pit at the end of this lap.
There you go, confirmation. Cadera at the end of the lap will be pitting Vimalana. That's where he's popped out. He's in 10th right now. He is ahead of Mane Goddard, so there definitely was a delay in the pit lane for the black box driver. Because that is a substantial turnaround of probably close to 2 seconds. 2.5 maybe.
Pit at the end of this lap.
Here comes Stefan Berner, end of the lap. Is he going to come out in relation to Reed, you would imagine, behind? Probably somewhere closer to Mishra. Sigalakis now has come in. He's not even made it to his pit box, and Rinjaho's already on the straight. So whatever the strategy call was, well, there you go, 4.6 second pit stop there for Sigalakis. So it definitely was a fast stop. It's just nobody really knows why. As a result, obviously, a bit more fuel in Sigalakis' car comparison, and you know, he's barely on the same straight, and the Camel is a long straight. Barely on the same straight as his teammate. Corns there, losing a bit of time to Karanen. Goddard doesn't seem to have quite enough to challenge Vimalana at this point, and he's losing time. So there's Kadera, he's come back out, he's in 13th, just ahead of Brugman. Let's get a bit further behind, so Reed has gotten through on Mishra. And Berner has come back out in 18th. Here we are on board with Stefan Berner, in fact. Very neat on-board views there. Here's a different one. Jack Lasky, 15th, a bit further up the road. We have a yellow flag somewhere out on the course. Oh, it's Vimalana. Transmission problem there for the Apex car. And it grounds to a halt there on the Camel Straight. He is out on the spot. Crane needs to get its act together and pull him off the right way. And they'll figure that one out eventually. So a couple of cars get themselves a free position. That's going to help Goddard and Jednak, both black boxes now in the points. Which is a worrying thought there for Yol Radavara. Just seeing this teammate retire randomly, suddenly on the Camel Straight. It could happen to him as well. No doubt must be getting told, don't worry about it, take it a bit easier. Sure you get back. pick up that win. There's about to be 8 laps to go, which is like 56 kilometers. Big result looming there for Razor. 6th and 7th currently. Following the two KF1s in 4th and 5th. And the Falcons in 3rd and 2nd. The now lone Apex holding 1st. There, JHR may have noticed new sponsor on board this weekend, Longines. Probably not how you pronounce it at this point in the evening, don't really care. Probably the best thing about it is that it actually is a sponsor. So great work for JHR as they probably looking to rebuild towards next season. They did bring one small update here today to Spa-Francorchamps, but doesn't really look like it's worked. At which point you must be certainly you must be thinking, oh, got to look towards next season. They of course had a breakout season 3. New team on the block, new engines, smart strategy from Hunsley. Got themselves well up the grid ahead of this season, but they couldn't replicate form. Had to change away from Porsche. I mean, I say they had to. They chose to move away from Porsche and instead pick up Newton Honda. A decision that didn't really work out for them. We'll be looking at rectifying that next season, no doubt. Still well in control there, the Radvar. After 8 seconds now, back to deal. As Josh Nowak has gone past. Haven't quite a while back. There we go on the Camel Straight. So looking for another point this season. Josh Nowak has been more or less outshone by his more illustrious Belgian teammate. But today he could have himself the last laugh. Grab a point at his teammate's home Grand Prix when his teammate ended his day in the wall. Got to be careful though now, he doesn't want to laugh too much in his face because he does have the Adelaide Grand Prix, or the Pacific Grand Prix in Adelaide a bit later in the season. And he wouldn't want to jinx himself ahead of that, because there's a lot more walls there and they don't care. Five laps remaining now here in Belgium. There's Jednak there going wide. Doesn't lose too much out of it, just time, and I don't think he was going to be getting any of that back anyway. Back to the front with Rinho. Not very much happening out on the track right now, 4 laps remaining. This commentator thinks it's almost time to go and get like a drink or something. See what happens. Waiting for anything to happen. Nathan Corns here. Spearing off. Taking flight over the Rodion, who knows. Mane gotta do some sick drifts through Buon. Don't know, here we go, we'll have a look in the top 10 movers and shakers. McNamara up 8 spots, Goddard up 5 as well. Utsa down 3, Corns down 1. They started off quite well, those two. But they've been shuffled back by those that have done better. Radavara and Nowak both holding the positions they started in. For Radavara, like, yes, he hasn't led every single lap for strategic reasons, but it's been a very straightforward victory for him. Started on pole. It's just held it ever since. Here's Rinho. McNamara fluctuating between 2.1 and 2.3 seconds behind. He's just not making up time. Nope. That is Goddard, I do believe. Yep. Making a small mistake there, it's okay. He's 12 seconds behind Corns and he's 10 ahead of Noack, so he's not really losing anything doing that. You'll have to wait an extra, I don't know, like 8/10 of a second to get to the finish line and finish his race. I don't know, Mane. You get back a little bit quicker. Battlefield? I seem to think. Probably not going to listen to this section though, so probably doesn't matter if I get the name of the game that he plays wrong. Could be a long time ago, could be just absolutely wrong. Here it's Reed. Sweeping through Fania. No problems so far for Radavara. No, there is still 15 kilometers to go. Now then, here is Benutza. 2 laps remaining. Utsa comfortably in 6th place. Has been getting caught up by Karanen, but just nowhere near enough. Back with Deal. Back with Jednak. Question is, how much time is he losing to Kadera? Don't really know. I mean, there's ways to find out, but don't know at this point. As we're now nearly getting to the end. Of this race, we're on to the final lap now. And this caster is on his last legs, absolutely. Pablo Deal, it's not going very well for him. The chasing was looking good in the second stint, but it just didn't exist in the final stint. Strategy there. Oh, hello. Jednak here has a problem.
Try and get back.
Yeah, he's not getting back there. That could be another transmission problem. That seems very sudden. And that's the thing, it can happen at any time, as it's just sort of saying. How will we find out? It is a suspension problem there for Jednak. So, Cruel right at the end of the race. I don't think it'd make too much of a difference. Probably a small change in his own money, but it's not going to be a big deal. This man, Yoel Radavara, he's probably thanking his lucky stars that that wasn't his car. He's going to start a long climb back up to the pits And it has been a pretty straightforward day for him. Took pole position, no problems there. Led from the start, no problems there. A couple of people went by. Guess what? No problems there whatsoever. They come around the final corner, and Yol Rautavaara, no problems at all today, and he will pick up his first win of the season.
Fantastic drive. Great job.
Pablo Deal comes across in second.
Excellent drive. 6 points.
Tapio Rinjaho, James McNamara, Manolis Sigalakis, that's your top 5. The championship contenders. Ben Uta going to come across in 6th place then, with Keranen chasing through in 7th. Consistency is key for that man, clearly. Here's Nathan Corns, P8. Mane Goddard should be able to get 9th. I say that, you know, it's very tongue-in-cheek, should be able to. I mean, it more or less is, like, absolutely going to happen. But you never know, it could just completely spin out. Probably wouldn't happen, though, however. Josh Noah going to come around the final corner now. He will take the final point in 10th. Toby Kadera chasing in 11th, but couldn't quite get that point that he so craved. Donald Brugman close in 12th. There's Lasky in 13th. Jaws looking pretty good. Reed in 14th. If he could have gotten to the front of this little train, he would have been looking good. Porjit Mishra for JHR. That's an important finish for them as well. Get all the finishes they can get. Stefan Berner in 16th. That's not going to help him one bit. Rautavaara just in control. Fantastic. So by 8.8 seconds from Pablo Deal, Yol Rautavaara won the race, his first of the season. Same for Apex. Tapio Rinjo 3rd. Double podium there for Falcon, as 2KF1s and the Razors were the chasing cars. Well, maybe just the first two. McNamara and Sigalakis trying to chase down, couldn't get it done. 4th and 5th as Falcon take another step towards this Constructors title with a great result here today. You'd almost have to say that's it, folks, more or less. I mean, the Drivers title, it could go either way still at this point, more or less, but the Teams title, the Constructors, I think that could be heading to Hungary this season. Nonetheless, we'll continue. Ben Utsa, Aiden Keranen to Razors 6th and 7th, as that team is still experiencing a revival of sorts. Nathan Corns in 8th, slunk out to nearly 10 seconds behind Keranen in the final stint. Mane Goddard picked up 9th. Could have been a double points finish, but Josh Nowak got past Sasha Jednak, and then he had a suspension problem just 2 laps out from the finish. Not even that, just a bit over 1 lap. However, he was in 11th, and 11th in the end does get taken up by Toby Kadera from Donald Brugman, Jack Lasky, Aaron Reed, Porjit Mishra and Stefan Berner. Retirements, Vimal Arna, well, apart from Jednak, but Vimal Arna, Rob Sharp both had transmission failures, accidents for Rui Martins, Matteo Heymans at the same point, and an oil leak for Daniel Harvey quite early in the race. His Toyota engine was on fire. Fastest lap of the race did go to Pablo Deal for Falcon, quite comfortably in the end, nearly half a second ahead of Aaron Reed. A little bit of a look, you can see Rautavaara just controlling the race. No problems at all for him. Deal and Rinjaho just couldn't really get it. Rinjaho's problem really dropped back early, and it wasn't too bad, but he just didn't really have the pace necessary to really take it any step further. Sigalakis, Corns, Keranen. That's a weird combination. They're all over the place in the end, and did have Utsa in between as well. Started a little bit further ahead, but didn't really have... Oh, he had decent speed, I guess, in the end. The Rays are definitely showing that they are probably the 4th best car at the moment. And I mean, some would argue, oh, well, that's not really true. You know, look at the DTK, it's a lot faster. That's very true. But the Grand Prix isn't all just about the race, it's also about where you qualify. And if you qualify 20th and 22nd, then how fast is the car? Like, really? You know, like 14th today. Many excuses can be made, of course, but what happened, happened. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm not going to have a massive wrap-up of the race. It was probably not the most exciting we've ever seen. Very straightforward race, very normal. But with that, we will sign off. We'll get a report out quickly, and we will have the in-season test most likely on Tuesday. So keep your eyes out for that, everybody. Till then, thank you for watching, and good night.